Yeah,
So how have you
because the
been?
thing is, yeah, I have been good. The only problem with me is this is normally the time when my kid wakes up and
Yeah.
gets ready for school. But now the summer vacations have started, so I'll be able to join for at least 4 to 5 weeks.
So you've been attending, right? The recordings and all.
Yes, I have been attending recordings, but I would say for sure that I haven't been as regular as I would have liked. But I am all caught up with the previous recordings, but I think it definitely makes a difference when you actually join in person
Definitely,
and when,
yes. But you've been
yeah,
practicing,
because
right?
yes, I have been practicing. But sometimes what happens is I get all these questions in mind, and then I forget, okay, I'm actually listening to the recorded sessions. And I'm
You
like,
just write it down.
now what? Yeah.
So do you have any questions?
Um, like one of the things that definitely comes to my mind is, let's say about wishes, right?
Meena, can you
So,
be slightly more louder?
uh, am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah,
Better?
you're audible, but in the middle, some words I cannot hear.
Uh, I don't know. My hairs probably are getting in the headset. Is it better? If not, I'll just
Yeah, it's
remove the
okay, it's
Bluetooth.
okay. No problem.
Okay. So essentially, let's say about the wishes. So sometimes, I mean, I almost came close to getting my two wishes fulfilled. But then when I was at that point, there is this guilt, as you said, right? Like it's one of the things. So sometimes my guilt is, and are my wishes, and you know the background story. So are my wishes contradicting with the wishes of my family members? And when that kind of overtakes, how I'm feeling about it, and then it just frizzled out. Like things that were like moving in the right direction just didn't go. So things like that happen. So it's like you want, but you're like you're not sure, should I really want this? And then you feel guilty for wanting things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you tap it out in the guilt, na?
Yeah, because I think
Sometimes
maybe.
when they could be like this, that you want something and somebody else wants something else. Okay. And what you want is good for you, but it's going to compromise somebody else's some desire at that point of time, or
Hmm,
somebody else's settlement at that point of time. So whenever you tap for these kind of things, you should always include that I have a deep fear that XYZ person or my husband or my kids or somebody will get disturbed with this whole settlement. See,
yeah,
whatever it is your reflection, right? Let it be the fear, let it be the guilt, let it be anything. The point is not only a manifestation of those things. Okay, the point is emotionally also being free from all this.
hmm,
So one mind you wanted, the second mind you feel ki nahi, I mean probably it's good for me but it's not good for somebody else, it's not good for my
yeah,
husband or my kids or whatever. So you tap at that point, you include this particular point that I am confused, one thing. Secondly, ki I feel fearful that how will this person react and how is all this going to be set. So your wish should include that not only this thing happens, but these people also respond to it very positively.
got it.
Could be there is a possibility that something may turn up at their end also.
Hmm,
Okay, so
got
like
it.
like there are two partners, suppose. So then one is wishing for something and the other says, "No, no, no, it's too early" or something like that. So these kind of contradictions, how do you deal with this? Because you feel that you're ready to take the next step and somebody is not. But then you have that fear also. You don't want to hurt the person also. You don't want to lose the person also. So at that point, you take this fear also in that tapping. Yeah, I feel fearful that I really wish that the person takes it very positive. So not
Yeah.
only fulfillment of the wish should be the purpose, but even the emotional story added to it also should be the purpose of it.
And I think I did it the other way. I said, okay, then my wish should not be fulfilled if it means that. So, it's like, so, yeah. So I think I
Try
get
it
it
at
now.
least. See, try it
Yeah,
na, at
yeah.
least. And what
Yes.
happens is, till the time you are connected to something, you will see something like that manifesting. Many a times you will even see that now we are towards the end, like today is the last practice session, and next Thursday we will have the summing up session. So after that, we will be giving you all the protocols in hand. So then you'll have to follow it on your own. We will tell you a routine, but then you're on your own after that, right?
Mm.
So you may feel that, you know, a lot of things that I wanted to happen in these 6 months, they did not happen. But at times, you know, remember this, that no energy goes waste. It is always stored in some form or the other. It takes time for something to gather mass and come in front of you. Like,
Yes.
you work out for one day, you're not going to see any result immediately, but that doesn't mean that that workout for that day has been a waste. It is stored in some form. So all together, to gather mass and for you to see a particular result, it's going to take time. So whenever you tap on certain things, or you make a desire, or you project any kind of an energy into this fabric of the universe, nothing is going waste. We feel कि यार मैंने इतनी कोशिश की फिर भी नहीं हुआ. People experience that. People who have been repeating Mani Upasana, even your brother has been a part of it for so many years, they all have experienced this कि एक wish एक साल हमने पिछले साल ली थी, वो पिछले साल नहीं हुई, but this year वो मन में भी नहीं था या कभी सोचा भी नहीं था, they just left it, and somehow that starts manifesting. Because at times, even emotionally, as of today, we are not even ready for it.
Mhm.
When you evolve, see, even if you look at your own journey, you're not what you were 6 months back, right? So we are all in the process of evolving. Your understanding today is much better than what it was 6 months ago. So what
Definitely.
challenges you would have had in your life 6 months back, if you would have had today's set of understanding, probably you would have dealt with it in a way better attitude, or in a way better approach, right? So even if today you feel कि 6 महीने पहले वाला कोई challenge आ भी गया सामने, तो you feel that today at least I'm equipped. So in the same way, you will see that a lot of things that they're just coming up and just going down, or you know, you just feel that something is just happening somewhere, but it's still not coming up to shape the way I want it to see. So nothing goes waste. The day your frequency and that things, whatever your desire is, their frequency match, the whole thing will just align together. See,
Yeah.
today, what we want in life is not as per what we want. That means that somewhere there is a misalignment. Two frequencies are not matching, right?
Mhm.
Like if you have somebody in your house, or you, like for example, if you have a friend जिसके साथ आपकी बहुत अच्छी tuning है, so spending time with such a person is so effortless, because it's a perfect tuning, it's a perfect match. But somebody जिसकी और आपकी thought process भी match नहीं होती, you're too different, you're two tangents. Getting in line with such a person is very difficult. It's a task, because everything is out of harmony. Nothing collides, right? So
Yes.
what you want as of now, the fact that it is not there in your life, that means that somewhere you and that desire are not in the same frequency. Okay.
Yeah.
As you start cleaning, as you change your vibratory patterns, you will see that a lot of things will start happening in life. And the day you are emotionally, psychologically, vibrationally ready to experience something, these kind of experiences will start floating in life. And that day you will have a chance to say ki, whether I want this or I don't want it. Right? You always have that choice. If you reject something, that doesn't mean that you are not eligible for it, or you know, you don't deserve it. At times it's not a priority. You can choose something else over that. It could be a priority. But
Definitely.
today you want something and it is not happening, means there is a mismatch. It could be with anything. It could be a relationship, it could be your job, it could be your growth, it could be money, anything. So there is something is not matching, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
keep on. Someday all these two things will just collide together.
Yeah. Hoping hoping for that day.
It will. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody else? Any sharings, any questions?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Acha, I have got real great convincing power whenever I'm doing any work in the larger groups. And that itself, I mean, everybody just listens so carefully. And that is one thing I used to be very hesitant. So this is like, I'm so consistent in doing all the practices. And this is something people are very receptive for
Yes.
whatever I suggest or whatever I have to do. So this is also, I mean, this way I'm getting great response.
Good.
And things are happening with each.
Very nice.
Difficult things, because when you have to get things done, I mean, when you are basically following, asking people to follow rules, you become the villain. Yeah. So that villaingiri also I'm
Very
able to do
difficult
very
to
nicely.
discipline indisciplined people.
Yeah. But then I'm getting a very, very positive response without hurting anybody.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that's great. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? Nothing? Okay. Chalo. We'll go to today's protocol. This is one of the last protocols that we are going to have. Before this, हमने काफी सारे एरियाज पे क्लेंजिंग किया है. हमने काफी इमोशनल चीजें हैंडल की है, लाइक फियर, इनसिक्योरिटी, लैक. We have worked on our negative beliefs also, which is a very practical thing. So today we are also going to take up something which is called as a pattern. Okay, pattern is something, negative pattern, a positive pattern नहीं, negative pattern. आप देखोगे कि पैटर्न्स का कुछ हद तक रिफ्लेक्शन आपके बिलीफ सिस्टम से भी आएगा. And on the other hand, patterns could be individual also. Pattern is something that repeats consistently in your life, or it repeats more than 2 or 3 times in your life. Like you have a pattern of people taking disadvantage of you. Okay, अगर ये एक बार होता है आपके साथ, okay, so then it is एक बार अगर होता है कि एक इंसान है कोई जो आपको बहुत इल ट्रीट कर रहा है, you know, people just take undue advantage of you. So this is not a pattern. But if you realize कि ऐसे, यानी ये फ्रेंड भी ऐसी निकली, ये बॉस भी ऐसा है, घर वाले भी ऐसे ही है, that they are just looking for some benefit from you. This is a pattern. Now, when we are dealing with patterns, we will deal with patterns related to our entire life. Okay, not only related to money, because your whole life patterns also have a reflection on your money responses. So it's like some people have a pattern कि कुछ साल जिंदगी के बहुत अच्छा चलता है, and the time they acknowledge कि अभी सब अच्छा चल रहा है, कुछ ऐसा हो जाता है कि एक डाउनफॉल आ जाता है. This is a pattern. Okay, so you have to identify at least say 5 or 6 patterns. It could be related to anything. It could be related to your health, something, some negativity that keeps on repeating in your life. Okay, इसको कई बार कोई इमोशनल फीलिंग नहीं होती है कि कुछ नहीं है, डर नहीं है, पर ऐसा होता है. कुछ लोगों का ऐसा पैटर्न होता है कि वो जब किसी और के लिए कुछ काम करते हैं तो दे वेरी सक्सेसफुल इन इट, बट द डे दे स्टार्ट डूइंग फॉर देमसेल्फ समथिंग, वो अपने लिए कोई सिफारिश करेंगे या अपने लिए कुछ कर रहे हैं, अपने लिए ट्रेडिंग करेंगे तो उसमें लॉस होता है, पर किसी और के लिए कर रहे हैं, उनका कोई स्वार्थ नहीं है उसमें, वैसे टाइम पे उस इंसान का काम बनता है, पर इन लोगों का कभी काम नहीं बनता है. कुछ लोगों का लेट पैटर्न रहता है लाइफ में, हर चीज यानी बचपन से लेकर आज तक हर चीज लेट मिली है लाइफ में. और some people have a struggling pattern कि हर चीज के लिए बहुत तरसना पड़ता है, हो जाती है चीज, but you have to wait very long, you have to be very desperate for it, very anxious for it. Some people have patterns where कुछ भी आसानी से नहीं होता है, बहुत डिफिकल्टी, छोटी से छोटी चीज में भी कन्विंस करने के लिए किसी को बहुत डिफिकल्टी हो जाती है. Some people have a pattern of attracting, dominating people in life. Everybody in their life is very dominating. हर कोई उन्हें डोमिनेट ही करता है. Everybody will be dictating terms to them. Some people have a failure pattern. Some people have an inconsistency pattern कि कोई चीज शुरू करेंगे पर कभी खत्म नहीं कर पाएंगे. They cannot give justice to anything that they decide in life. So you have to identify 6 negative patterns. Now, just close, it takes time to identify patterns or even to frame it. So we will have a discussion over this because you need to understand what your pattern is. at times these patterns could be genetic also, कि आपने देखा होगा कि आपके डैड के साथ भी ऐसे ही हुआ, very close to success and then failure, very close to something and then failure. It could be a pattern in your father's life also, it could be a pattern in your mother's life also. At times it is a pattern that is repeated for like you say, in a particular it's a cellular pattern kind of, it's there in your house or it's there in your khandan kind of, ki one generation is very successful and then the second generation doesn't do anything at all, or somebody in the generation there are specific houses, you will see that everybody has a problem related to marriage. All of the girls either have got married very late or all of them are struggling at the marriage end. So these are patterns that get repeated. They could be genetic patterns, you could have cultivated patterns, कि कोई चीज सुन के बचपन से आपको कोई चीज हैमर की गई हो कि तू ऐसा है, तू अनलकी है, तुझे कभी कुछ आएगा नहीं लाइफ में, then you cultivate a pattern because somebody has constantly hammered you with this. कभी कोई बोल देता है ना हमें कि तुझे, especially people who see our horoscopes or people who give us predictions of the future. So these kind of people, we feel that, we have no influence of such people, but they program us in such a subtle way. और जब डाउनफॉल शुरू होता है लाइफ में, फिर हमें डर लगता है कि भाई ऐसा तो नहीं होगा, वो ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. So if somebody since childhood has told you that you are unlucky, now you don't want to believe this, but somewhere you will see that there is a pattern that is getting repeated, कि कोई चीज सामने आती है और चली जाती है लाइफ से. You will have a pattern even with positive things, कि आपको पॉजिटिव रखने वाली चीज आप बहुत देर तक नहीं कर सकते हो. The time you start feeling कि ये सभी लाइफ कंट्रोल में आ गई है, कुछ ऐसा हो जाएगा और आपसे ये छूट जाएगा. Even it will happen with tapping also. You will see this happens with meditations also. It happens with so many things. People see that once they start Manupasana, they are very conscious about their health. So they start a lot of good things in their life. And over a period of time, when they feel, कि अभी सब अच्छा चल रहा है, good, I'm in control of my life, that point something will happen and everything will just turn around. Some people have a pattern कि XYZ इंसान को अगर अपनी लाइफ में कुछ पता चलता है तो नजर लगती है या कुछ बुरा होता है. So you have to identify at least 6 to 7 patterns, negative patterns. It could be traits जिसको कोई इमोशन नहीं है. Okay, but this is what practically happens. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि people have this pattern where जहां पर लोग उनके बारे में मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग कर लेते. They have this pattern कि वो कुछ नहीं, वो मजाक कर रहे, वो कुछ नहीं बोल रहे, but they are always misunderstood. They are misjudged. They are misunderstood. So they carry that, and then they become so conscious about it कि उनको जो नहीं बोलना है वो वही बोल के आ जाते वापस. छोटी छोटी चीजों में छोड़ देते हैं, कोई चीज एंड तक नहीं कर पाते, पैटर्न है. बहुत जल्दी क्विट कर देते, क्विटिंग इज अ पैटर्न. Some people feel that, as opportunities start knocking their door, their body doesn't support, their health doesn't support. It's a pattern. Okay. So I'll give you around 5-10 minutes. Just close your eyes and try to think कि क्या identify हो रहा है आपको. Just scribble and then let's make the final script. Okay. So in the meantime, if you want to ask something, you can definitely ask. So we'll discuss so that everybody can relate.
Ma'am, you said that we have to identify patterns of 3 different types. So I got one, genetic, cultivated, and what's the third type?
It could be a regular pattern. You don't know the
Okay.
origin of the pattern. Okay.
Got it.
It could be like कोई एक फेलियर आ गया लाइफ में, तब तक सब ठीक था, पर उसके बाद से एक पैटर्न रिपीट हो रहा है. लाइक 10th के बाद से, 12th के बाद से कुछ एक फेलियर आ गया, फिर उसके बाद से एक पैटर्न रिपीट ही हो रहा है. Lot of people have a pattern that they can never be successful in business. वो multiple चीजें try करते, but they are never successful in business. They are very good in a job, but as soon as they try to do something of their own, they are never successful there. So identify what's a pattern. Don't go in the roots of the pattern कि कहाँ से आया है. Just identify what negative things happen with you repeatedly, so you will get to know the pattern. कुछ लोगों का टाइम वाइज भी साइकिल रहता है कि साल के 6 महीने अच्छे रहते हैं, 6 महीने बहुत बुरे रहते हैं. या पीपल फील दैट, राइट? देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु फील कि 1 साल अच्छा जाता है, 1-2 साल अच्छे जाते हैं, फिर वापस कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. बिजनेस वाइज ऑल्सो वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ पैटर्न्स, राइट? कि हमेशा ऐसा 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 चलता रहता है. इनकंसिस्टेंसी इज अ पैटर्न. irregularity of payments is a pattern. Entering into losses is a pattern. कि हमेशा वो ऐसे ही डील्स करके आएंगे कि जहां पे लॉस होता है. हर चीज में कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ता है इज अ पैटर्न. कि कोई भी चीज चाहिए वैसे नहीं मिलती है. ऑलवेज देयर इज अ कॉम्प्रोमाइज. Some people have a pattern of being tuned to tragedies and traumas. ऐसी ऐसी tragedies होंगी ना उनके साथ जो आपने कभी सोची भी नहीं होगी. वो बेचारे रास्ते से भी चल रहे होंगे तो कोई आके उनको धक्का देके चला जाएगा. कुछ नहीं, they have no fault, but they're constantly tuned to tragedies and traumas. कोई इनकी एक ट्रिप भी अच्छे से नहीं होती है कभी लाइफ में. They always have a story for something like that. So you unconsciously get tuned to these kind of things in life. Loneliness is a pattern. Yes, Vineet.
परसेप्शन जैसा अपन ने परसेप्शन के लिए भी किया था सेम टैपिंग.
Yes.
परसेप्शन एंड पैटर्न
हो
मतलब
सकता
डिफरेंशिएट
है,
समझा नहीं.
रिपीट हो सकता है. जैसे बिलीफ में
मुझे तो सारे वही याद आ रहे मैडम.
हाँ, बिलीफ में से भी कई सारी चीजें यहाँ पे आएंगी.
ओके,
ले लो, इसमें भी ले लो. अगर उसमें से रिलीज नहीं हुए ना पैटर्न्स, ट्रेंड्स, तो इसमें भी ले लो आप.
ओके ओके.
मैम, मेरा तो ना एक बहुत वियर्ड पैटर्न है. मतलब ये मैंने बहुत पहले भी ऑब्जर्व किया है. सो आई हैव लाइक लिव्ड इन 16 different cities so far. The city names either start with letter P or letter M, and then depending on those starting letters, my life is different. It's very weird, and I have observed this in the past also. I mean, can this be a pattern?
Yes, definitely. Whatever you feel negatively repeats with me is a pattern for you. Okay. It's an unconscious pattern. See, now you have never thought of this before this, right? But somewhere, then how did you come to this conclusion so easily? Your brain somewhere is accumulating that data.
Yeah, because this is something, it's like in my unconscious mind, because
Yes,
just one other day I was
So
thinking.
even if you know it or you don't know it, you are unconsciously there.
Yeah.
There was a person who is doing Mani Upasana in Pune, and his son came to me for consulting for some business venture that they were doing. And then he said that, we have been struggling to have our house for so many years. And there was, at times it was इतना नेचुरल था वो कि क्या है, अभी पैसे है, सामने साइट्स बन रहे हैं, कुछ हो रहा है, तो जाके बुक करो ना. एंड वी एज किड्स आल्सो न्यू इट. बट फिर फ्लैट पसंद नहीं आता था. फिर फ्लैट में जाएंगे तो लगता था नहीं नहीं बंगलो होना चाहिए. फिर बंगलो के लिए जगह नहीं मिलती थी. फिर जगह है तो पैसे नहीं होते थे. Until date that person is not able to have his own house. So then when we were discussing about this patterns, so I just asked him, I said, what was the state with your father and his parents and all that? And then he said that probably this is a genetic trait कि हमारे घर में कोई भी कभी खुद का घर खरीद ही नहीं पाया है. My father also died in a rented house, and that is why I was as a child obsessed to have a house. I purchased a house, but मेरे को business loans की वजह से I had to sell it off. I couldn't pay the EMIs, and when situation ऐसी आई कि मैं घर ले सकता हूँ, तब ऐसा सब हो गया कि वाइफ को ये पसंद नहीं आ रहा है, वो पसंद नहीं आ रहा है, जो जगह पसंद आ रही है उसमें लोन नहीं बैठ रहा है. एंड टुडे अगेन सिचुएशन ऐसी है कि हम घर नहीं खरीद सकते. दिस वाज सेम सिचुएशन वाज विद माय ग्रैंडफादर. My grandfather was traveling and traveling and traveling and being posted to so many places that he never had a house of his own. And he said before that का मुझे पता नहीं, but ये 3 generations तो ऐसे हैं. So at times you really don't know, you even carry these kind of genetic patterns because your cells have that information and these cells have come from there. So obviously they carry this kind of information. So try to find whatever कि मुझे due credit नहीं मिलता है, बार बार ऐसे होता है, मुझे due respect नहीं मिलता है. Yes, it's a pattern. लेट पैटर्न तो कितने लोगों का होता है, हर चीज लेट होती है उनकी लाइफ में. People have a pattern of failure in relationships. That they have a pattern कि शुरुआत में सब सही चलता है, फिर बाद में हर रिलेशनशिप दूर चला जाता है. See, even your health also could be trapped in a specific negative pattern. Your weight, your body, it could be trapped in a specific negative pattern. Can anybody share something so more ideas can be sorted out? So people who have still not got it can.
With me, it has happened like whenever there is a joint ownership in any flat or any land, that things, either we have to sell it or it never materializes. I mean, the whole project gets cancelled.
Okay.
That was one. And till 2017, almost for 12 years, from 2005 till 2017, I had lot of health issues. I'm a 3-time cancer survivor. So that I realized in 2017, and then I started exploring all this. So it has somewhere now, stabilized. But otherwise, it used to be that pattern. And nazar lagti, that to I really बहुत ही ज़्यादा है. मतलब if I tell ना, कि वो हो ही जाता है गड़बड़. And again, as you said, कि the minute I think, oh, everything is okay, settling down, बस everything will go haywire. घर में disturbance होगा, relation में आएगा, money wise आएगा. So I really scared to even acknowledge कि सब ठीक हो रहा है.
At times it happens.
Ownership तो
the day you say कि भाई सब अच्छा चल रहा है life में, and we experience कि कुछ ना कुछ कहीं और ऐसा कुछ हो जाता है कि and it's beyond our control at times. So that fear we always have. Yes, good. चलो, महक, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे? चली गई. Yes. Anybody else?
Yeah. So, ma'am, what happens with me is sometimes either I don't get things or I get it too late. But the things that I wait and eventually when I get it, they don't end up giving me the kind of happiness that I expected that they'll give me. And then I go into that mode. Why was I even wishing for it? Now, this is not what I wanted. And this didn't turn out the way
excitement ही खत्म हो जाता है. You always get things when the whole excitement is over of it.
No. Even after excitement is over, when I get it, it actually brings more trouble to me.
Oh, okay.
So that happens. So it's like, so now that has made me really fearful in even wishing for something, because I was like, if I wish for something, is it going to be, and if it gets fulfilled, is it going to cause me more trouble? Like, होता ही नहीं है, अगर हो गया तो उसकी वजह से problems बहुत ज्यादा आती है.
Okay.
छोटी-छोटी चीजों में होता है. Like कहीं
that is why also the reason could be that you are so confused with your wishes.
Exactly. और बड़ी चीजों के साथ भी होता है.
These past experiences, that is why you are very confused with your wishes also now. So the time when they are supposed to be fulfilled, you yourself
I get cold feet.
You yourself get so unstable कि बाबा ये अभी हो रहा है, but probably this is going to cause some problem in the future. and that is
Yes.
why the whole thing also must be fizzling out.
Yeah, this is a very big pattern.
Exactly.
And this
So
happens
now
to me.
let's clean the baggage before now you go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, Mehak.
I have a pattern कि whenever I try to save money ना, वो suddenly sum up ऐसा हो जाता है कि कुछ ना कुछ health issue आ जाएगा या तो कुछ ऐसा
Yes,
खर्चा
a
आ
lot
जाएगा
of
कि
people
जिससे मुझे
have this
चलता ही
money
नहीं है,
pattern कि पैसा
save
आ
नहीं कर
गया,
पाती
नहीं
हूँ मैं।
एक्स्ट्रा पैसा आ गया कि
हाँ।
कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम होगा जिसमें वो चला जाएगा.
चला जाता है, इसलिए मेरा वो पैटर्न इस तरीके से हो गया तो मैं सेव करती नहीं हूँ, कहीं ना कहीं स्पेंड कर देती हूँ
हाँ,
कि हो जाएगा, अब वो किसी और जगह नहीं जाएगा.
तो
स्पेशली हेल्थ इश्यूज में मेडिसिन में जाता है तो वो ज्यादा बुरा लगता है कि यार इसमें जाने से अच्छा है तो इससे अच्छा जो मुझे चाहिए वो मैं खरीद लूं.
very good. Because we hold a lot of insecurity also na towards money. That is why also these things happen. And see, even हम consciously repeat नहीं करते इस चीज को, पर ये पैटर्न अभी चिपक गया आपके साथ में. So कभी भी आप पैसे सेव करोगे तो उसका एक अंडर करंट थॉट है कि भाई ये कहीं तो ऐसे ही जाने वाले. So ना आप सेविंग करोगे ना उसको एंजॉय भी कर पाओगे. सही है, बट
इसलिए मैं एंजॉय कर लेती हूँ पहले.
but that has that undercurrent ना, so that keeps on telling you कि भाई सेविंग नहीं हो रही, सेविंग नहीं हो रही, सेविंग नहीं हो रही.
That happens.
That puts you into insecurity. So it's better that you get out of this.
Yeah.
So then you can save fearlessly without any insecurity.
Yeah.
People have patterns where their money doesn't multiply. कि पैसे को पैसे नहीं लगता है कभी लाइफ में. It is always they're living on the edge. It's a pattern कि हमेशा hand to mouth ही चलता है सब कुछ. Literally not hand to mouth, but जितना होता है, जितने की जरूरत होती है उतना ही पैसा create होता है. There is never excess gets created in life. Yes, ma'am.
See, I don't know whether this is a pattern. I think so. See, in 99, I tried traveling to US, and that time I did not get a visa. My brother stays over there. From that time till now I've got a visa, but still now COVID came. Yeah. And then now health issue of my husband. So something or the other comes in between even when everything is okay. That's also a pattern.
Yes, definitely that is a pattern. Yes. Okay. Now, in this protocol, specifically for this, okay, we are going to address a few things which we have not addressed before this. Like, now we don't know from where these patterns have got stuck into our system, but we realize that something like this is repeating. Either these patterns could be genetic, or there could be because of some failure or something that we happened, and then our perception itself changed over that. It could be because somebody programmed us to believe these patterns, or we saw it कि भाई मम्मी के साथ भी ऐसे हुआ तो मेरे साथ भी ऐसे ही होगा. Lot of people have a pattern of being suppressed genetically because they are a girl. They're always suppressed in life. So they are probably their mother also carried the same pattern. Before that also, their grandmother also carried the same pattern. So they have a pattern of being suppressed. मैं किसको आप ले लो ये इस चीज को कि जो पैटर्न है बीइंग सप्रेस्ड. सो दिस इज एक ट्रेट चला आ रहा है हमेशा से, तो आप भी उसमें आ गए तो आपके साथ भी वैसे ही हुआ. बट हम जैसे अभी कह रहे हैं ना, इन मनी उपासना वी आर एड्रेसिंग अ लॉट दैट इज रिलेटेड टू आवर साइके. हम कह रहे हैं कि इट इज वी हु इज द सेंटर ऑफ एवरीथिंग, राइट? हमारी जैसी कंडीशनिंग्स है, हमारे जैसे ब्लॉकेजेस है, उस हिसाब से हमारे वाइब्रेशंस है और उस हिसाब से हर चीज हमसे रिलेट करती है. बट दिस इज 95% ऑफ द स्टोरी. ओके, दैट it is because of our conditionings, it's because of our psychological and subconscious blocks. Some blocks are that we know, some blocks come from a strata which we don't know, like genetic programming, womb programming. We are not aware of this, what it is. We can only make a brief picture out of it. कि बाबा मम्मी की condition शायद ऐसी रही होगी, उसे शायद ऐसे stresses रहे होंगे. This is only what we can make out of it, but we really don't know what has happened. Apart from this, there are different layers through which programming भी होता है या कोई ब्लॉक हमारे लाइफ में आके चिपक सकता है. ओके, बट दैट इज ओनली 5%. ओके, बट वी as a traditional society, we depend on those things for 95% and we put our psyche aside कि इसका 5% role है. Those things are, first is किसी की नजर लगना. Okay, अभी नजर लगना क्या है? It's an energy itself, right? जैसे आप somebody who is very comforting as a person, who is very positive as a person. So आप जब ऐसे इंसान से बात करते हो तो obviously आपको कुछ एक energy exchange होता है ना ऐसे इंसान के साथ बात करके. In the same way, there are a lot of dark people. Okay, dark means not externally but internally. They're very jealous, they're very shallow in their behavior. At times these people are very ऊपर से बहुत अच्छे से बात करते हैं हमसे, but internally हमें भी समझ में आता है that they're very jealous, they don't like, and at times we feel कि ऐसे लोगों से मिलकर या ऐसे लोगों को जब हमारे लाइफ का कुछ अच्छा पता चलता है तो there is एक डाउन ट्रेंड चालू हो जाता है और वो चीज अटक जाती है, वही की वही रह जाती है. So does this really happen? किसी की नजर हमें लगती है क्या? अब अगर हमने छोटे बच्चों को देखा तो you will invariably see this that when kids cry out of no reason and आप बस उनका ऑरा क्लीन कर देते हो, नो नजर उतारते हो उनकी, बच्चे रोना बंद कर देते. ओके, सो इट्स नॉट कि किसी की नजर लगती है हमें. वी transmit energy and we receive energy. Okay, now all that we receive we don't understand. जैसे our eyes can process in reality so much of information, but हमारे ब्रेन को कितनी याद रहती है? उसमें से सिर्फ 5%. Okay, आप जब ट्रैवल कर रहे हो एक जगह से, आप चलो बॉम्बे से दिल्ली जा रहे हो, अगर आप खिड़की से जो देखते हो वो सब आपके ब्रेन के अंदर है कि नहीं? एक्चुअली होना चाहिए कि नहीं? पर याद कितना आता है? Only 5%. Okay, even less than that is what the brain recollects. So a lot, we receive energy from everything. Okay, it's a communication that happens. That's the way we interact with everybody. So there is a lot of energy that we pick up. जैसे हम किसी के घर गए तो किसी के घर का माहौल देख के हम पे कुछ असर होता है कि नहीं होता है? अगर कई बार घर बहुत छोटा होता है, it's nothing decadent, very normal, very simpleton house, but those people are so sweet and so innocent, and very normal people kind of, and you really like the whole vibe of the house. But there are some people जिनके घर म्यूजियम से भी खूबसूरत होते हैं, but एक अजीब सा फीलिंग लगता है उस घर में. यू फील कि कितना क्लैशेस है. I mean, there is so much of distance, there is no warmth in the house. So when you go to a positive place, you obviously feel positive. जैसे आप मंदिर में जाओगे तो मंदिर के जो वाइब्रेशंस है, और आप जब एक डिस्को में जाओगे वहां के वाइब्रेशंस, और आप जब एक हॉस्पिटल में जाओगे, अब आप सोचो इन तीनों जगहों पर आप जब जाओगे तो इन वाइब्रेशंस का आप पर असर होगा कि नहीं होगा?
Yes.
We pick up. So we pick up vibrations. आप किसी नेगेटिव इंसान के साथ बैठो ना, एक कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं ना कि आप इनको कोई भी सोल्यूशन दो, वो हमेशा बोलेंगे कि ये नहीं वर्क हो, ये कैसे गलत है. They're constantly complaining. आप देखोगे कि कुछ समय बाद आपकी भी एनर्जी ड्रेन होने लगती है. When you start feeling so pathetic and so bad, और ये कोविड में हमने सबने एक्सपीरियंस किया था, राइट? फर्स्ट वेव ऑफ कोविड इतनी दूर थी हमसे, but the fear psychosis that was built, हर इंसान वही बात कर रहा है, people are so paranoid, हम सब्जियां धो रहे, पता नहीं क्या क्या धो रहे, मिल्क पैकेट्स धो रहे जैसे कि धो के वायरस जाने वाला है. We did all of this, right? We were all so paranoid with all of this. So even if though we feel that we are intact, we are not intact. There is a lot of programming that happens with us from the outside. So this is 5%. Okay, so कभी कभी क्या होता है, जब हमारी खुद की एनर्जी भी थोड़ी सी लो होती है ना, आपका थोड़ा दिमाग खराब है, आप थोड़े से अपसेट हो किसी चीज को लेकर, आप देखोगे कि ये बाहर की जो नेगेटिविटी है ना, ये आप पे हद से ज्यादा असर करती है. पर आप जब एकदम स्ट्रॉन्ग मेंटल स्टेट में हो, कुछ स्ट्रेस नहीं, यू सो हैप्पी, मस्त चल रहा है, यू आर वेरी हैप्पी, you will see that these same factors, these same people, these same conditions cannot dominate your state of being. Okay, but हमेशा वैसे नहीं रह सकते ना हम, क्योंकि रूटीन लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ होता है. So we pick up energies. कोई जेलस है, उसका इफेक्ट कितना होता है ये अलग बात है, बट हम कई बार कोई भी नेगेटिविटी कैच कर लेते हैं, and this gets stuck, and there is where a pattern gets created. Okay, like if you will see in homeopathy, we have medicines specifically over these moon phases. Okay, and people who are very sensitive, you will see कि either during the Amavasya or during the Purnima, you will see that people who are very sensitive, they get erratic at that time. आप observe करना, छोटे बच्चे भी, they get a bit cranky during that because the whole
Yes.
frequency is
Yes,
very
yes.
weird.
It happens with me every time.
But ऐसी कितनी सारी अमावस्या पूर्णिमा आई होगी ना जहां पे यू आर सो हैप्पी, आपको पता भी नहीं था कि ये आके कब चला गया, बिकॉज यू योरसेल्फ वर एट अ लेवल वेयर दिस कांट अफेक्ट यू. कुछ अच्छा हुआ होगा, प्यार में गिरे होंगे पहली बार, कुछ पैसे आए होंगे, कुछ हुआ होगा ना वैसा की. तो आपका ध्यान वहां से हट गया. नहीं, वो सो हैप्पी दैट यू डिडंट इवन रियलाइज कि ऐसा होता है, एंड वी सकम टू दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. बट व्हेन वी are very low in our energies at times, so these things start affecting us. Okay, so now when we are going to address these patterns, we will be addressing that either this could be a womb program, this could be a genetic program, this could be because of some kind of negative energy that is stuck, because we don't know na, what we are carrying in our aura. We really don't know what our energy field carries, but we carry a lot of blockages in the energy field also. So we will be addressing these portions also. आपको specific करने की जरूरत नहीं, we'll take it as generalized. Okay, but this is a part that does affect our life. कितना? 5%. But as a traditional society, जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम आता है तो हम इस 5% को ही समझ लेते कि नहीं नहीं मेरी 7.5 ही चल रही, तो अभी 7 साल तो भाई जिंदगी के बैंड ही बजने वाला है. So, but this is just 5%. So 95% is your essence. So if you could build your strength over this, you can very easily overcome this also. And so we have never till today in the whole sessions of Mani Upasana, we've never even spoken about this. But you should understand that something like this also exists. But इसकी power कितनी है? बहुत थोड़ी सी. आप जितने strong रहोगे उतना इन चीजों का आप पे कोई असर नहीं होता है. आप जितने वीक रहोगे, जितने डरे हुए रहोगे, जितने इनसिक्योर्ड रहोगे, जितने इनस्टेबल रहोगे, हर चीज का आप पे असर होने लगेगा. Because quantum physics says कि not only the 12 planets, okay, everything has an effect on everybody. जैसे आप किसी के लाइफ में आ गए ना, तो आपके फील्ड का भी उस पूरे फील्ड के साथ इंटरफियरेंस होता है. You also can cause pain to somebody very unconsciously. At times, you know, you are also so irritated कि पूरा ऐसा माहौल टॉक्सिक भी हो जाता है हमारी वजह से भी कई बार. So these are layers from which at times blocks get stuck in our life, which is genetics, womb programming, these negative entities that we may pick up, horoscopes. So the effect of our stars, the effect of whatever it is. Okay, so these are some parts that we will be taking today.
So ma'am, it's like
Ma'am.
blessings, right?
Yes.
Just the opposite way of blessings.
Just the
So-
opposite.
Opposite like blessings.
Yes.
So you know how blessings are good for us. Now, with that, is it possible that let's say a blessing that
Curse.
comes from a
You want
mother?
to ask for a curse?
Right. So let's say a blessing that comes from your parents, your mom, probably has much more power than a blessing that would come from a stranger, like a good wish that would come from a stranger. Will the same thing work in case of, let's say, nazar or curse, that if someone is close to you and they wish something bad, will that have more impact than, let's say, strangers?
See, Meena, most of the times it's not somebody that has power. Okay, it is we who invest power in them. Okay, like we feel that people who are close to us should think good about us. should feel that we should grow and have success in life. But everybody comes with their own baggages and their own limitations in life. Okay. So if you are scared that somebody has cursed you, release this off in your tapping first. Your first fear protocol should be related to this, that I'm very fearful that XYZ person has cursed me with this and something like this may happen to me. It is we who invest power in these kind of people. See, because if this was a fact, you know, so many people would have invested into people like these, na? And people who curse us, और if we feel कि भाई इसमें इतनी पावर है, इसने हमको blessing दे दिया, इसने हमको कर्ज दे दिया, उसने खुद के लाइफ का क्या किया? If they are that powerful, okay, if they are that powerful, now see, because ये जो यूनक्स होते हैं ना, जो सिग्नल्स पे भीख मांगते हैं, okay. So suddenly Pimpri Chinchwad area where we stay, suddenly all signals have these people. I don't know from where they have come. And so what happened is one day I was just coming from somewhere and I didn't have my wallet with me. So, and these people, they continuously, they will knock on the car and they'll knock till such a point कि आपको डर लगता है उनसे, and car खराब हो जाती है. Actually इतने हाथ ऐसे मारते रहते वो लोग. So they were like, नहीं, नीचे करो. They asked for money. And I said, I am not carrying anything. I have no wallet. कुछ भी नहीं मेरे पास. तो वो बंदे ने मेरे को जीपे का स्कैनर दिखाया. मेरे को बोलते I was like, नहीं, फोन पे मेरे जीपे भी नहीं है. So उसने क्या किया? उसने मेरे को एक 2 रुपए निकाल के दिए. And then he did something. And then he said, these 2 rupees for you for good luck.
Yeah,
बहुत पैसा बरसेगा. He said, I mean, see how funny is this? I mean, तुम्हारे 2 रुपए से अगर मुझ पे पैसा बरस सकता है, तो तुम पे क्यों नहीं बरस रहा है?
क्यों नहीं बरसता?
But we have vested so much of power into some kind of people that we feel that इसने कर्ज किया, बाप रे, अभी मेरा क्या होगा? उसने कर्ज किया, इसका मेरा क्या होगा? So don't give this kind of a power to anybody in your life. It could be anybody. I have seen such tricky relationships between parent and their child also. I have seen mothers being so jealous of their daughters. It's a weird vibe. Okay. When suddenly girls come to an age and see, if the mother is very beautiful and she has a habit of being complimenting always, then there is a tough competition. Na, ki kaun achha dikhta hai, ladki achhi dikhti hai ki maa achhi dikhti hai. And suddenly you will see that, when the girl comes to a certain age and she is dressing up, suddenly you will say ki bhai ye kal auntie jaisi rehti thi, aaj usko kya ho gaya aaj. So people come with all kinds of limitations. And every person is capable of the best and the worst, provided is the situation. So don't invest so much of power into somebody. Actually, उसकी power हमें कितनी लगती है इससे ज़्यादा, हम खुद को उसमें रोक लेते हैं कि भाई now somebody has cursed me, अभी ऐसा होने वाला है. कोई मुझसे नाराज है, इसके लिए मेरी life अभी problem में आने वाली. Get over this. Just tap this out, whatever it is. But we at times pick up energies. That's a different thing. Okay, clear?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, I mean, in this context, like suppose now we say that even the planetary influence is there. Okay, so and as per the energy dynamics, like we resonate and will attract what we have. So उसमें फिर planet का कितना वो होता है?
Like if you see, we have zodiac signs, right?
Yeah.
तो आप अगर आपके birth signs के हिसाब से आपका पढ़ोगे, तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि आपकी personality काफी हद तक match करती है.
Yes.
Okay. तो उस हिसाब से जैसे कुछ चीजें default में है, वैसे sometimes हमारी energy और आजू बाजू के चीजों की एनर्जी मैच हो जाती है, and then we have a boom effect in life. And this is what happens with many people. Okay, people who out of nowhere just get lucky. It's that something inside them and some interference outside matches and they just become big.
Okay.
It's no logic behind it. कई बार हमें लगता है ना कि भाई कुछ क्या है इसमें? I mean, why is this guy so famous? Why are these people so rich? It's nothing. It's an effect that is beyond our understanding. It's just his frequency, which is by default. कुछ नहीं, it's by default. उसने कुछ किया नहीं है उसके लिए. That and something outside just matches, and the whole effect comes out.
So now when they say there is Sadesati, and then people as it is get very worked up listening to that word only. But in that case, now suppose now we know how to keep our vibrations high. And if we keep practicing that, so
See,
is there a
actually,
chance?
in reality, Sadesati is where a particular planet's influence increases on you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there are cases where people have experienced that they have flourished beyond
Yes.
their limits in their period of Sadesati.
Yeah, yeah.
It is an influence of a planet that increases beyond its level.
Okay.
Okay. And quantum says that it's not only these 12 things that matter. Now, because we are in an
Acha.
Indian society, we believe all this. Right.
Mhm. Right.
But beyond all this, everything affects us.
Okay.
But this is a conditioned block. That is why we are addressing it in today's protocol.
Achha. ठीक है.
So that we don't leave any area of programming that is unaddressed.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, that is
Thank
it.
you.
So should we start with the tapping? You've been able to jot down your patterns?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So where I give you space, just repeat your patterns one after the other. Okay. You have taken patterns related to money, your life, health, relationships, anywhere that you face any kind of a negativity. Sure. Let's start tapping. My life, my money patterns, my health, my relationships are unconsciously stuck in a lot of negative patterns. Like, now repeat your patterns one after the other. Just show me a thumbs up after you've finished. These negative patterns could be a programming from the past life, could be a genetic block, could be a programming from my womb state, from my childhood, my failures, it could be an unknown planetary influence, or it could be any negative energy that is just stuck in my energy field. Despite of this, I deeply and completely Love and accept myself. And allow these negative patterns to release emotionally and practically. I experience that my life, my money, my health, my relationships are unknowingly stuck in a lot of negative patterns. Like, repeat those patterns. I may be carrying these patterns from my past life, from my genetics, from my womb programming, maybe my childhood, my failures. This could be because of an unknown planetary influence, or some sort of negative energy may be stuck in my energy field. Despite of this, I deeply and completely love and accept myself and allow these patterns to release emotionally and practically. Let's go to short tapping. Release, change, and heal. 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 Last two rounds. Release, 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 release. Last round. Release. 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 Get your hands down. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. So for the next week, we will be practicing this protocol. We will be having our last session on next Thursday. Okay. So where you will get the PDF of all the protocols so you can very easily tap it on your own. Okay. So it will be in a more simplified form. I will explain all of that also on next Thursday. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
whether we'll be able to meet once a month, something like that, if we can do, because
We will
अभी
see
बहुत आदत हो गई है.
how we can. We will
हाँ.
definitely see.
Okay, and one more thing, is there anything about aura cleaning which we can do? A simple, some very simple technique or something which you
Yeah,
can teach us?
actually, we used to do it. Okay.
Huh.
Chalo, let's do it. We'll end the session with that.
Okay, okay. So this we have to do every day. I mean, in the night or something, or anytime we can
When
do
aura
it?
cleaning,
Huh?
it's normally before you enter the house or you are leaving the house.
Okay, okay, fine.
कभी भी करो, it's you
अच्छा,
will
अच्छा.
instantly feel very fresh.
Okay, okay. ठीक है.
Okay,
ठीक
chalo. So what you do is you just warm your hands a bit. हाथ थोड़े से दूर, फिर पास, फिर दूर, फिर पास. Imagine that you're holding an energy ball in your hand. Make your hands like you're holding an energy ball in your hand. Bright silver colored energy ball. Try to rotate it a bit. थोड़ा सा उसको press करो. Can you feel the resistance?
Yes.
Now repeat after me. I clean and seal my aura.
I clean
Take
and
your
seal
hands
my
next to
aura.
your ears. Open your eyes and see what I'm doing. And
Okay.
I clean and seal my aura.
I clean and seal my aura.
Cross your hands. I clean and seal my aura. I clean and seal my aura. Now take your hands back like this and
Okay,
just
okay.
pull it. I clean and seal my aura
I clean and seal my aura.
and dust. Okay. Again.
Okay.
Now we'll go slightly faster. Okay. अब जब नीचे से क्रॉस करोगे ना तो आपको बस आपकी बॉडी को कवर करना है. Okay. So you're creating a layer around your body. Okay. Rotate that energy ball in your hand. Press it a bit. I energize and expand my aura.
Expand my aura.
थोड़ा जोर से बोलना. I energize and expand my aura.
I energize and
I
expand my
energize
aura.
and expand my aura.
Energize and expand my aura.
ऐसे हाथ पीछे लेंगे और फेस के सामने से रोल करेंगे. I energize and expand my aura.
Energize and expand.
Dust and take your hands above your hand and clap like this. You clap like this. Okay. You will see the time you clap, you have a very much shift in your energy field. Okay. So you do it any time of the day. It makes you feel very fresh.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how you do it. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
One more request.
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
For the English batch. For our batch, our
Yeah.
English, we need one guidance from you regarding Ho'oponopono.
We will do a session.
Whenever.
We will do a session on Ho'oponopono and surrogate tapping. So these are two things which is needed. A lot of people have requests for that in Hindi English. So we will do that. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
all next Thursday. Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.